Before we move to the next level, we need to understand the past participle. So what is the past participle? Well, for every verb, we need to memorize 5 forms: the infinitive, the present participle, the gerund, the past simple, and the past participle. Is that confusing? Don't worry, I'm here to simplify it for you. Let's look at these in detail. We use the infinitive form of the verb when we combine 2 verbs. For example, I want to eat mangoes. Here, you're combining verbs want and eat. It'll be wrong to say I want eat mangoes. We use the present participle form for actions in progress. For example, I'm working, I was working, or I will be working. We use the gerund form of the verb as a noun. It's the verb plus ing. For example, overthinking causes stress, or I hate overthinking. And we already know the past simple form. We use it for the simple past tense. For example, I drank too much wine. And now let's look at the past participle, which we use for the passive voice and the perfect tenses. Well, the first thing you need to know that although it has the word past in it, it isn't used for past tense only. It's used for all the tenses. Here are some examples in the passive voice. English is spoken by 360 million people is in present tense. The order was delivered yesterday is in past tense. A bridge will be constructed near the park is in the future. See, it's used in all tenses. Now let's have a look at the perfect tense. I have been to this restaurant several times is in present perfect. We had met the CEO before he signed the contract is in past perfect. And we will have graduated in 2030 is in future perfect. So see, these are 3 different tenses and we've used the past participle in all 3 of them. But wait, what is the passive voice and what's the perfect tense? Well, don't worry. We will learn those in detail in our next few lessons. But before we move to those grammar lessons, we need to learn the past participle form. Let's have a look at the structure. For the infinitive form, we always add a to before the base verb. For the present participle and gerund form, we add an ing at the end of the verb. For the past simple and the past participle forms, we add an ed at the end of regular verbs. Here are some examples. However, for the irregular verbs, you need to memorize the past simple and the past participle forms. Here are some examples. So before we move to the next level of grammar, try to memorize the past participle forms of verbs. Well, at least a few of them. Here's a summary of what we learned. Remember, the past participle is used for all tenses, not just past tense. We use it for passive voice and perfect tenses. And for the regular verbs, you add a D or ED in the end. And for irregular verbs, you memorize the verbs.